Hello and welcome to my channel. I have an unboxing of the Tonic Studios craft kit. This one was a little bit delayed in shipping, but I got it I think last week, so I'm also a little late getting to it. This one's called the Vintage Pop-Up Sentiments, and I was really excited to get this box because I wouldn't say most of, but a lot of the craft kits that I've gotten anyways seem to be more boxes or kind of 3D projects, and I always have to think about ways to adapt it for card making, whereas this one seems like it's actually designed for card making, and I really love interactive cards, and so this one will actually help you create cards where you open it up and a sentiment pops up in the middle of the card. So really fun card mechanism there. And I've already taken everything out of its plastic and initial packaging. So generally, the Nuvo products do come in plastic baggies or sealed plastic bags just in case they leak. So I always love that there's a lot of care in the packaging. And then all of the Nuvo products come in this sort of paper bag, which is really nice and branded. So what do we have here? So we have a full-size bottle of Crystal Drop. This one is in metallic pale gold. So that's really, really nice. And there is glitter in Violet Infusion. I don't know if this was a random selection or if everybody got the exact same color, but that's a really nice shade of purple. And I've never used Tonic's craft tacky glue before, so I'm excited to try this, although I don't know when I'll open it because I already have a couple, or an open bottle. I generally use Lanco pH Neutral, which is also a PVA glue that is very tacky and has a very low water content, and I think this is probably going to be the equivalent of that, although I think if I did open this, it seems well sealed. The nozzle is really small, so it's got a very fine tip, and it does look like when you put the cap on, it's pretty well kind of in there, and I think that sort of seals off any air getting into the bottle and drying out your glue. So I think even if I were to open this, I probably wouldn't be in too much danger of it drying out before I was able to finish using it. But I imagine there's another seal in here, so let me see. So you can twist this open. Yeah, so there is a seal here, so this keeps it nice and airtight until you're ready to open it. So I'm eager to try it. So we'll see. I do want to try to finish up what I've decanted of my other glue first, though. And in terms of other Nuvo products, we get a mini hybrid ink cube. This one in Spring Heather, so another really pretty shade of purple. So there's like a purple and gold color theme going on here. And then we have embossing powder in Soft Lilac, and this is a sort of sample pot. And then this, I believe, was introduced with this craft kit, and it's a new product, although since then they have for sale other colors, and they, I think, introduced it during birthday week. However, this color in this kit is a kit exclusive, if I'm understanding correctly, and it is Iced Plum. So I believe the only way to get this specific color of chalk embellishment mousse is if you actually bought this specific kit. And the chalk mousse, my understanding is that it is similar to their embellishment mousse, except that it dries matte and has a more chalky kind of finish to it. I'm really digging vintage drops, which are really similar to crystal drops, except they also have that matte finish. And so I figured, because I'm liking that sort of matte finish look, that I would probably really like chalk mousse as well. So during birthday week, also bought the other colors. So really, I haven't tried any of them out yet, actually, but I'll definitely give this a go when I start to craft with this kit, because I'm really excited to see it in action and see how it compares to the regular embellishment mousse. And then in this kit, we also get a pack of card blanks and envelopes in ivory white, and this is in US A2 size, so it'll be 4¼ by 5½. And their card blanks are really nice. I like the paper weight that they use. It's 300 GSM for the paper and 120 GSM for the envelopes. They're really nice. I really like anytime they include card blanks for us. The stamps and dies are in this little envelope folio, so I'll get into that in a second. Let me get to the papers, which these days come in this branded envelope, which is really nice for storage. Some of these papers we've gotten in previous kits in the past. I recognize them, so I'm really glad, because I like them all, and I'm really digging this colorway. Purple and gold isn't a combination that I normally use, but seeing it all together like this, I'm really starting to like it. So let's see, we've got, this first one is Classic Card in Cream, and their Classic Card is a texture weave on one side and smooth on the other. Then we have Classic Card in Mauve Purple. We've got a Pearlescent Card in Gleaming Lilac. That's really nice. This is more of a pinky purple. We have Iridescent Mirror Card in Petal Pink. I have all of their Iridescent Mirror Card, I think, because I just love it so much. We've got a specialty card in Golden Mosaic, and I believe we've gotten this in a previous kit before. And we have specialty card in Lilac Waves, and again, I think this is another one that we've gotten in a previous kit. I think it was the one that had a lot of circular, was it Rose Malling? I think it came in that kit. I'm not 100% on that, but it looks very familiar. And then, ooh, this is pretty. This is a specialty paper, so this is their handmade cotton paper, and it is in Warm Dahlia. And I've seen this embossed pattern before. I think I have this paper, but in a pale pink. I really love their specialty paper. It's got such a deep sort of embossing on it. Really pretty. And then this one I've seen before as well. This is also handmade cotton paper, and it's in Peach Parfait. I think I made a little micro album out of this paper. It looks really familiar to me. So there are the papers, and let me just grab a sheet out so that I can show the stamps and dies. So, take all of this out. The die set does come with some instructions so that you know how to put together the pop-up mechanism. And so it tells you, all the pieces that you need to cut, where you need to glue and attach things. So they have dies that will actually cut out the front and the back card panels. There's a die that cuts out this hinge that you can attach the front and back to. And the nice thing about that hinge is that there's a little bit of a gusset. Hard to see, but there's a little bit of a gusset there because they're making allowance for the fact that the inside of your card is going to have this pop-up mechanism that's attached to the center here. And so that gusset and having two separate panels for your front and back will just accommodate the space for that so that your card doesn't kind of bow out. And so that's really clever. It's really nice that they've done that. But I see this piece as a really pretty ornate piece, and straight away I'm thinking of perhaps using it for mini albums, and you could definitely make a mini album using that. So I'm excited to use those pieces, and of course there are dies that cut mats and layers out for your card panels as well. And then you can see here sort of how it looks on the inside and how that pop-up mechanism is attached to the inside of your card. And there's also even a die that cuts out some strips that you can use as a belly band to keep your card completely closed, so that it doesn't naturally sort of pop out because it's got this mechanism in here. So the instructions are all there for you, and here are the actual dies. So really nice set, two sort of half sheets or A5 sheets of dies here. And so we've got on this side the plain rectangles will cut out your card panels, and they look smaller than A2. So let's see. This is the larger panel. So this is 3.5. US A2 is going to be 4.25. So a standard US A2 would go out to here, whereas this panel is about 3.5. So then on this, along this dimension, it's 5 inches tall, as opposed to 5.5, which is what a standard US A2 size would be. So that's kind of nice, actually. While it does make a smaller card, what you can use that die for is to cut mats and layers for your US A2 size cards. So if you don't have a set of nesting dies, for example, you can always use that to cut a mat for your standard US A2 size card. And then speaking of mats and layers, there are decorative panels for you to cut mats and layers for this card panel size. So that's really nice, and it even kind of accommodates I'm presuming that this is going to fit around the pop-up mechanism, so that's why they've sort of cut a slit there. And the decorative panel also has those two little slits. So that's really nice, and I'm guessing is going to wrap around the pop-up mechanism perfectly. And if you wanted to just use it for standard card making, I'm sure there are ways to kind of, cover that up or work that into your design. And then it looks like there's some mats and layers for your spine or hinge piece. So this is the spine here. And then it looks like two different dies that will cut out different decorative mats for it. And it does look like it does have the outer cutting edge. So these are not verso dies that will cut into your card, but rather it will cut a full piece that you can layer on top of your hinge here. And the pop-up mechanism itself, I believe, looks like this piece right here. And so if I remember from the instructions, you'll just need 2 of those pieces to create your pop-up mechanism. And then you've got these sort of slots. And so when this pops up, you'll have this sort of arc that you can either stamp a sentiment directly on here or use this piece to pop up another ornate frame. And so there's a couple different oval frames that we've got in this set. So there's this one here which looks like it has some little swirl embellishments, and then this one which is a plain oval. And it looks like for both of them there's a verso die that will cut out a sentiment. So this one says, "On your day." And then on this one, it does look like this verso die, I haven't taken everything out, but just looking at the size and shape of it, it does look like they'll fit onto here. So I think these are all sort of mats and layers that can either be used separately or combined with this larger frame here. And this one says, "Just to say," this sentiment. And then we have this piece here, which you'll need 2 of to cut your belly band, and you can either cut into that a decorative design, or you can cut into it a sentiment. This one says "with love." So really pretty, really nice options, and a really fun set of dies with a lot of really unique, I think, ways to use them for card making, probably for album making as well. That might be the first thing I explore, actually. And then for the stamp set, we have 3 sentiment stamps, and they read, "For a friend." It looks like this will fit on the belly band. Let's see. Yeah, I think they'll fit on the belly band. So that's really nice. And then we have "You're the best" and "Thank you." Although these 2 don't appear like they would fit onto these oval frames. This is the larger frame. Yeah, that's not gonna fit there. So I feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity. It would have been nice to have some stamps that would fit onto this arc, although you could take any kind of straight sentiment and then just curve it when you put it onto your stamping block or stamping platform and get it to, somewhat mimic that arc or that curve. But it may have been nice for them just to include some stamps for us so we can stamp directly on here, or stamp sentiments onto the mats and layers instead of die cutting our sentiment, stamping a sentiment instead. I think that would have been nice too. Although maybe it would have been too small. I don't know. I do like the font and the flourishes that they have on these stamp sentiments. So that's really nice, and the scale of them is really nice. But it might have been nicer to have things that kind of work a little bit more specifically with the dies. But I think that what we have is really nice anyways, so we'll find ways to use it. So that is this craft kit, and when I craft with this kit, I'll be sure to link to that project at the end of this video. I am really looking forward to the next kit as well, which is, I think, their Winter Advent kit, and that one looks like it's going to be a really fun one as well. So thank you for watching, and until my next video, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye.